Hey y'all, welcome to Art of the Budget. My name is Nicole. My pronouns are she and her, and I live in the Pacific Northwest on the traditional territory of the Coast Salish Nations. And today I'm bringing you my October 2020 budget plan. If you're new here, I'm an artist and educator, and I share about budgeting and planning for retirement. Because it is something that I was not good at for most of my life. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, I would love it if you would subscribe. And if you enjoy this video, go ahead and like it. It's always appreciated. And let me know down below if you've got, if you're an artist too, or if you are in a creative field, or if just in general you are interested in budgeting and trying to save more. So on the topic of savings, I did want to talk about a couple of things, some kind of mindset stuff that I'm having. So since I started this journey about 5 years ago, but like on YouTube about 3 years ago, I have really increased my savings rate, which is awesome. I did a video a couple weeks ago about savings rate. And, I definitely don't take my base pay for granted. I have a full-time job, and I still have that full-time job despite COVID, at least for now. But during the year, typically in the last couple of years, I've done adjunct teaching, and so that's increased my income. And I've also had a housemate, which decreases my expenses by quite a bit. And, in light of all of the different things happening in the world right now, I am really thankful to have this time to be alone in my house. And I'm very thankful to continue to have that full-time base income, even though I'm not able to teach and increase my income that way. But I'm definitely starting to feel like this little bit of tightness in the budget, and maybe this is a little bit of deficit thinking. So I shared a video about my savings rate a couple weeks ago. This is Violet's Tale. And for the month of September, my savings rate was 23%. So my amount that I send to savings, I've gotten it to the point where it's over about $1,000 per month. Some of that is after taxes, some of that is before taxes. But since my income has gone down, actually my savings percentage has gone up. And so I'm really thankful for that, but I am feeling it in the budget. So normally I have some money to play with, and like if I go over in a category, I can usually take it out of like a sinking fund category, eating the plant. But I can't really do that. So yeah. So anyway, I'm about to make my September reconciliation video, so you'll see what I do there. And I am trying to be more strategic in my October budget. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so what I did was I moved over. Last month was the first month that I actually saved my paychecks in a different little spot called Next Month. And I'm using last month's pay for this month's budget. What I did was I brought over the total amount, which was $3,067.57. I already did that. I already did the budget, but as I looked forward, I think that I will actually budget $3,000 every month, and as long as my income is staying at this amount, because I just like that idea of budgeting a little bit below, and then having, even if it's just $67, a little bit of wiggle room. I think that it's really 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It depends on your, just sort of the way your brain works. So let me know down below what you would do. But yeah, so I brought the whole amount over, but moving forward, I think I'm going to stick with 3,000. All right, so interest income has already come in. It always comes in at the end of the previous month, and that's $844. As you all know, that goes straight into a interest-only savings account. Right now, I'm keeping my sharing at 100. It is kind of a bummer to be at less than 5%. And let's see, sharing, it's 3%. At less than 5%, but it is one of the only places that I have wiggle room. I do still have some money in stimulus sharing, so I need to maybe focus my brain over in that area a little bit more this month. Let's see, in savings, just my interest is going to go over to that account. Retirement, I'm back up at my 500 to my Roth IRA. Rent is $1,100. Electricity actually already came in, and I usually generically set $40, but it was only $29.23, so that's pretty cool. Also, my mobile phone was a couple dollars less. That's already, the bill's already come through, and it's $60.07. Internet is now the new normal, which is $80, which is great. Groceries, I'm keeping low again this month at $200, and I usually do $300. But again, this is one of the only places that I really have to wiggle. And I have recently gotten a quarter of a pig, so that's like in the freezer. And then I have some other frozen backstock things. So I'm trying to kind of strike a balance between being prepared in case there's any weird shortages or like like there were in the spring with just weird things missing from the grocery store, as well as use what I have and be a little more thrifty with groceries. That's usually an area that I don't mind spending a little more money, but again, it's one of my only wiggle, like places with wiggle. Same with restaurants. I'm putting 50 here. The weather's getting worse here. I don't know that I'll be having any outdoor pizza with friends, but I do, again, prioritize that social side of things. And sometimes that might be coffee or pizza or something. I do love like a delicious, beautiful meal, but I live in a smaller town and I just feel like that's not really, the role of restaurants in my life right now. So anyway, I'll put 50 there. I'd like to have it versus not have it. $30. Again, as we're going into this bad weather, I just kind of took stock at the house and I just have a few things that I want to get. And they're simple things like trash bags, dishwashing liquid, things that I just like to have backstocked so that I don't run out. This is not really a COVID thing. I've always been like this. When I first moved here 5 years ago, my sister sent me a case of toilet paper, and I've never looked back. I have the storage space, and I love having backstock of just household things that you never stop needing. I hate running out of. Let's see. Flexible spending account. This is $850, but that's wrong. I actually set aside about $500 this year, and I have not used very much of it. And so I actually have some dentist appointments and stuff coming up. I'm really nervous. I'm kind of anxious to go to a place without my face covered. But I do need to use that money, and I do have a couple of things like my cleanings and stuff that I need to get done. So I'm going to try it. We'll see how I feel. Kitties are going to get $250 this month. I'm sticking with that, even though I know it didn't go well last month. I know that I picked up one of the more expensive medicines last month, so I'm hoping that this will balance out eventually. This is my best guess, so this is what I'm going with. Gas is staying the same at $60. Car registration, $10 a month every month without fail. Entertainment, $6.55 for Hulu, and then I've got fun down to $40. And so I've kind of mentioned this, like, this is a wiggle area, but I know myself, and I know that I will want to use it. Frankly, I'm realizing that maybe fall is a time that I get a little spendy, but also just with, like, being on the tail end of quarantine, the looming bad weather, the, like, additional isolation that will bring, I'm just not going to set myself up for failure in that department. Insurance, auto insurance is the same as always, $86.60. Renter's insurance, I always put $10 a month for it without fail. Nothing to the accountant. I saved up for that last year, but then didn't end up using an accountant, so I've got that stored away in the event that I do need to use an accountant for my taxes. And then in the sinking fund area, I have a couple things going on. So I'm going to bounce around a little. So because you can see cat fund here, that's kind of the remainder. So let me talk about down here. Something that I'm learning about myself from the beginning, I really thought that I spent zero money on clothes. I have learned that that's not true. Um, Last year around this time, I actually bought 5 pairs of black leggings and they have served me well. I work in a ceramic studio. I don't really get dressed up for work. I kind of have a uniform. And so buying that 5 pairs of black leggings, which were just like inexpensive, I had found a pair that really worked for me and I decided I'm just going to go for it and get 5 pairs. It's a year later and only 1 or 2 of them have really worn out, which I'm pretty pleased with. They're a majority cotton pair of leggings that cost $12. They are from Walmart, not my favorite place to shop, but I will take a good legging wherever I can find it. And I actually went back to buy 5 more pairs and they didn't have them. And so I've had to do a little bit of searching. So that whole story is just to say basically that even though my clothing is typically lower cost basics and things from thrift stores, I do still spend money on clothes. And as we're going into fall, another thing I'm dealing with is like all of my wool socks, including the ones I've made. They all have holes in them. And some of my wool socks are literally 10 years old. Maybe because I had them for camping. I didn't really wear them before I moved here. But in any case, they need replacement. And so I'm actually I've been putting $20 a month towards a winter coat, which I do need to buy, but I'm actually going to put $120 this month towards that whole area because I have a few things that I need to stock up on, including doing a little bit of a legging search. For me, it's just really relaxing to just wear a uniform. So black leggings, a skirt, and a t-shirt, and usually a sweater or a sweatshirt or hoodie. It's just really easy for me to do that and not have to worry about what I'm going to wear. You know what I'm saying? Next is gifts. Though I'm not going home for the New Year, Christmas and the New Year as I normally would because of COVID, I don't know what I'm going to do instead. And so I'm just starting to set aside a little bit of money here. I don't usually, my family doesn't spend like a ton of money. We usually do a Secret Santa thing on gifts, but I'm probably going to need to ship some stuff. I don't really know what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to put $40 in here for right now. And then, like I said, the remainder is going to my cat fund, so about $300. I definitely need to stock that up because in November I need to take Junior back to the cardiologist. And that is not cheap. Student loans are still on deferment right now, and so thank goodness, because I would really have no wiggle room if I was needing to pay that. So that is my month of October. Sorry if this was a little on the long side. Let me know how y'all are feeling, especially if you're in a northern state going into winter. How is that affecting you? Is the change in season affecting your budget at all? And yeah, just like, what are your feelings and your mindset stuff right now? Let me know down below. I'm really curious. I'd love to hear it. I will see you in the next video and have a great day.